At SoFi Stadium, Gerard Moncure, Fox 11 Sports. Kyle, back to you.
But he didn't get that right, Kyle. We got two teams. We got two teams we want to see there. We got the Chargers
and the
Chargers. You know, that's a potential situation.
It certainly is. Both are still alive. Of course, the Chargers have to beat the Raiders tonight. And by the way, you heard Gerard ask the question about Arlington, Texas. That's kind of what started this whole stink earlier in the week. It's because the city of Arlington proactively reached out to the NFL and said, hey, we've got a stadium here, AT&T Stadium, of course, the home of the Cowboys, and they said, we're happy to host the Super Bowl if they can't do it in California. And when that news started getting out, then people started getting worried, could the Super Bowl possibly, be moved out of SoFi Stadium? That always happens. There's always a contingency for postseason, for regular season. I think it got blown out of proportion. So, listen, they're going to make sure, one way or another, the Super Bowl is played right here at SoFi. All right, coming up right here, we're going to make our MVP and Super Bowl picks. We're going to see if Jackie tries to dodge this question again about who's going to be in the Super Bowl.
You dodged that question, Jackie?
What in the world? I got my pick. I've had my pick.
Well, I remember last time there was two question marks on the board.
I'm ready to roll.
There were two question marks. All right,
roll.
we'll see what he has to say. That's next on Sports Wrap. But first, we've got a chance for you to win. The regular season now almost over. It is time to talk about the Most Valuable Player Award. There have been some great seasons this year, like Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis. Of course, what about Cooper Kupp? Had one of the best seasons ever for a wide receiver. Well, who is the odds-on favorite? What do the lines makers say? Aaron Rodgers, the favorite in Green Bay, followed by Jonathan Taylor, which of course would be surprising. We don't often see a Most Valuable Player Award handed out to a running back or any other position for that matter than quarterback. Tom Brady, Josh Allen, and then Cooper Kupp. Not likely to win the award. So who do our guys think should win the award? Let's start over there on Pitts Island. Ron, who is your MVP this year? And I think we may have all picked the same guy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I thought about the guy that represented the most value to the franchise. And all the stuff that he went through in the offseason and this and that, will he be traded, will he not be traded? Still, he's gotten his team right back here, home field advantage with a chance to get back to the NFC Championship game. So all in all, not discounting Jonathan Taylor. I liked him, but if Derrick Henry is still rolling, he would still be the MVP, I think, in that vein as far as running backs is concerned. And Cooper Kupp has had an outstanding year.
Okay, I'll take the mystery out of this for everybody at home. We all picked Aaron Rodgers as our MVP this year, but I want to know why. And Ron gave us, his logic. What is yours, Vince?
Well, Aaron Rodgers is the shining light, I think, Kyle, because the light always shines brightest on him. No matter what the situation is, he's a playmaker. He always makes the play, and there's always confidence that surrounds this guy. Mm-hmm. He can make any throw. He can deliver when he has to in the clutch. And this is a guy that's won consistently year in and year out. I mean, he's just amazing. And his coach should be considered as maybe the coach of the year as well.
Mm-hmm. Who finishes second? Just curious.
Probably Cooper Kupp at this point.
Second, okay.
I've seen him make some great plays.
All right, Jackie, give us your argument for Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I think Aaron Rodgers is the MVP simply because he has won more games than anybody else and has been the trigger man for his football team. This guy has consistently made throws. He has consistently made decisions on the football field that all of us, I listen to Ron and Vince. I take their opinion because both of them had a lot to do with throwing and catching the football. Ron was a cover guy and read those coverages. Vince throwing the football in the tight windows and all. I listen to these guys all year long, and all they keep talking about is Aaron Rodgers this and Aaron Rodgers that. So I'm going to have to defer to them. This guy is special. Their coach would only be in contention for Coach of the Year because for the third straight year he's won 13 games with Aaron Rodgers as his trigger man. So I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. But I will say this. If you look at the first 3 weeks of this season, Matthew Stafford had Aaron Rodgers and everyone else beat. I thought Matthew Stafford was on his way to that award, and just unfortunately the wheels fell off there for about a 3-week span of time.
And unfortunately, there's no mid-season award. You've got to play all of the games.
17 games.
Right. And Jackie, I know that you know I'm a numbers guy, right? So I picked
right.
Aaron Rodgers, but I really look at the numbers this season. 37 touchdown passes,
A lot of
4 interceptions. 4. You know,
Wow.
by the way, he threw 2 interceptions week 1 of the season in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He only threw 2 since week 1, and the last one he threw was November 14th. So in my eyes, Aaron Rodgers is not going to lose the football game for you. And let's be honest, we've talked a lot about Matthew Stafford and the mistakes he's made, and we talk a lot about other quarterbacks. We're talking about Carson Wentz throwing his first interception on the road today all season long, but he did it at a critical time. Aaron Rodgers is going to win you football games. He's not going to lose you football games.
Rarely
right?
does he make a mistake.
Right.
Well, he never makes mistakes.
So that's my guy. All right, so we all are in agreement. Meanwhile, the playoffs kick off next weekend, but we're already making our Super Bowl picks today. Here are the odds for winning Super Bowl 56. Packers on top of the list, followed very closely by the Chiefs, then the Buccaneers, the Bills, and you see the Rams there at plus 900. Okay, who will be playing at SoFi Stadium in February? Vince, let's begin with you.
Well, I think it's going to be Battle of the Bays, actually, between Tampa Bay and Green Bay, but I like Green Bay because they'll have the home field advantage. Of course, we said the MVP, who we thought was that, and, you know, Matt LaFleur has been great job coaching. And I think in the AFC, I'm going to have to go with the coach, Bill Belichick, because the Patriots will surprise you, but experience and the coaching knowledge and their defense, if they play the way they were playing most of the season this year, they will give teams like the Chiefs fits. They can stop Mike Vrabel. They know how to do it. And they can stop some of the best teams.
Okay.
I mean, so I would have to say the Patriots.
Okay, they can't beat the Dolphins in Miami, but you say they're going to the Super Bowl to take on the Packers. All right, let's
They
go.
were taking it easy this
They were they?
Yeah.
Okay, that may cost them because
it may,
if
but
the
it
Raiders
doesn't matter.
win tonight, they drop to that number 6 seed, so it may be a little bit more difficult. All right, let's go to Ron. Ron, tell us your Super Bowl pick.
Green Bay, I like them on the NFC side. That AFC side, boy, it's got me up at night here. My inclination is Tennessee. Again, I like their size, I like their physicality, I like their speed all over the secondary and all over the defense, really. And I like the coach. Kansas City, the only thing that bothers me about Kansas City, that was my other pick, is defensively. I just don't trust what they are defensively. They're inconsistent, even though they have some playmakers, but I don't see it all the time. Just check out that Denver game yesterday. That'll give you everything you need to know about why I went that direction. So for right now, I'm going to go Tennessee and Green Bay. As long as Tannehill can hold it up and Derrick Henry back in there can only help them.
Okay, Jackie, your turn.
Well, you guys know how I feel about
Well,
picking.
if there are 2 question marks,
You know how I
That's
feel
great.
about picking. You know, my heart tells me that I'd love to see a repeat of Super Bowl 53, the Rams and the Patriots.
Okay.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to be looking at Tennessee and Green Bay, and I think Green Bay is going to be there because the quarterback, and of course, you know, the way they attack defenses. You know, they do what they have to do to win the ball game. And when I think about Tennessee, for just like Ron Pitts just said, they are physical, they are tough, they are fast on defense, and then they run the football. And we always talk about the 2 things you have to be able to do with consistency. Once you get into the playoff, it travels everywhere. For decades, you got to be able to run the football, and you got to be able to play great defense to stop the run. And that's what Tennessee's done. That's consistently done it all season long with the personnel, and this is where I think they have an advantage.
That's why I
okay, so
like
you're
New
saying
England.
Tennessee and Green Bay. You're saying Tennessee and Green Bay.
Yes, that's what I said.
And I'm going to give our producer an awful lot of credit, Christian, back there in the control room.
Why?
He's kind of going crazy right now because he asked all of this question just an hour before we came out onto the set, maybe a half an hour. And Jackie, that was not your answer. And yet, and yet, Christian so quickly. As you're talking, change the graphic below so you did not look foolish. It says Packers Titans when it should say Packers Patriots.
Yeah, well, I was thinking.
No. I'm sorry. You said Rams, Patriots.
Yes.
And you
exactly.
switched
A
both
repeat,
teams.
repeat. That's what I said. That's what my heart tells me. That's
He
what I'd
called
like
an
to see.
audible. You
That's
called
what
an
I'd like to
audible.
see. That's what I'd love to see.
right.
My son, my old team. Yeah, you like to
Okay.
see that.
Okay.
But I don't
We
think
have
it's gonna be
15
real.
minutes left in the show, so at the end of the show, I'm going to ask
I
you
can
one
go
more
change it.
time.
I can go change it a
Just in
little
case
bit
it change again.
Kyle, one thing to think about, though, on this Green Bay thing, okay, they have struggled getting out of the NFC Championship
No doubt,
game.
no doubt.
That's the issue there. So
They
think
get
it
to
over.
the NFC Championship game each year, and that's as far as they get. All right, I think all of you changed your picks from just three
Couple
weeks
weeks
ago
ago, yeah.
when we did this. I'm the only one that is sticking to it. what I said 3 weeks ago, I'm still saying the same thing today. I really like Green Bay coming out of the NFC, and Kansas City, although they've had their struggles and Patrick Mahomes has had his turnovers, I think they're the most talented all-around team, especially the way their defense has played, not against the Cincinnati Bengals, but I think Kansas City comes out of the AFC, and I think Patrick Mahomes would become just the 4th quarterback in history to go to 3 consecutive Super Bowls.
Wow.
I think they do that.
Well, you
Yes.
gave it some thought. I can see you gave it some thought.
I generally do, Jackie.
See, Jackie can say, hey, I told that team was going to win.
And
That team was
Jackie,
gonna win.
unfortunately, you give it too much thought, and you change your mind a lot. All right, we're going to take a brief time out here. Coming up, most fantasy league championship games were actually decided last weekend, but